Okay, hello everybody and welcome to Strawbs Crochet Corner episode number 19. My name is Anne or Anne. I'm a Finn living in Australia and I'm recording to you from Scarborough in Perth, Western Australia. Today is Tuesday, the 6th of March 2018. And our week began today because we had a long weekend here in Western Australia. So we had Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. And we actually went down south to Bridgetown to have a bit of a holiday. The boys loved it. They could ride their motorbikes and feed some baby cows and go and get some eggs from the chickens, and Finn was helping Nana with some gardening, and I had lots of crochet time, so everybody was happy. It's a very, very hot day here today, and it was a hot day yesterday as well. Yesterday went somewhere to 37 degrees Celsius. Today, at the moment, it's about, what's the time? It's 11:20 a.m. and my phone tells me that it is about just over 34 degrees Celsius outside, and it is rising. So yeah, I didn't go outside to film today. I'm just sitting here inside in the air conditioning with a cold beverage. But yeah, I didn't record last week. I wanted to, but the boys were a little bit sick. I think they almost caught a cold, but it didn't really come on properly. They were just a bit snotty and coughy, and yeah, I got a bit of that as well. So I gave up on the recording, and yeah, we'll do it now. And I just want to thank everybody for the lovely comments on Ravelry and for your introductions there in the introductions thread. They always make me very, very happy, and I'm so happy to interact and communicate with you there as well through the messages. But yeah, how about we get started? We've got 3 finished objects today to show you. I've got 2 whips, active whips that I'm working on at the moment, and I've got the short little UFO follow-up where I'm at with my big pile of UFOs, and I've also started to do some statistics for January and February, so I'll let you know those as well. And at the end I've got a little short section that when I will speak only in Finnish, and yeah, that's about my trip in July to Finland and the Jyväskylän Knit Fest. So yeah, but we'll start with the FOs. My first one that I'm most excited about is 2 meters of stockinette stitch, which is the Kappa shawl by Vera Välimäki. So I've finally finished this. I'll show you first where I was. So this is where I was in my last episode of the podcast, and that's how much I had to do to finish it. And yeah, it was only a couple of days after my last podcast when I actually finished this, and I'm so happy. Now I just need to wait for some cooler weather to actually wear this, but I'll show you how it looks. Peekaboo! So this is what it looks like when you wear it like a tube scarf. It's really nice and light. But yeah, of course you get a lot of layers in there. But yeah, this is, I love this kind of stuff. And then you can pull it down your shoulders. Oh, I'm stuck at the back. Let's see. I'll get up for a bit for you. Yeah, so you can pull it down like this. And then it warms up your shoulders and arms as well. Sorry about the noise. And this can also be worn. Oh, check out my hair. Can also be worn as a long scarf, like that. There we go. So that's my kappa, and the pattern is by Vera Välimäki. I used 201 grams of lace weight yarn for this, and it was 1600 meters. And the yarn that I used was Malabrigo lace, 100% baby merino, yes. In the colorways, this green was lettuce, then I think the light grey was Purl, and then the dark grey Purl 10, and this peachy color was apricot. And this is how much I've got left out of the last ball, because yeah, I wasn't quite sure how much I need for the ribbing at the end. So 3 grams is what's left. And yeah, obviously the balls were a little bit overweight, because that's 204 grams in 4 balls, 50-gram balls. But oh yeah, and I used 3mm needles, Addy lace needles, and I really like them. I enjoyed working with them. And the new thing that I learned with this was the bind off that I used. So I used Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, and you can find it if you look for it in Google or YouTube, and you can get a video to see how it's done. I think it looks fairly neat, and it is nice and stretchy, much stretchier than the normal bind off. And yeah, now you can use this properly by pulling it down as well, because yeah, it's not too tight. One thing that I wanted to mention about the Malabrigo lace yarn that I used, all the other balls were great. The thickness of the yarn varies a little bit, but I just like here you can see there and there it's a little bit different thickness, but I like it. I think it brings nice life to the yarn. But this last bit, the apricot, the thickness varied lots. Like in there you can see, and I should have actually cut this, cut it off, because yeah, it annoys me a little bit, but that's just there now. I can't do anything about it anymore. But I cut 2 bits off to show you, because there was an extremely fine bit of yarn, and then a little while after a very thick bit. So this thin one was like, it is like sewing thread, and this is like, I would say DK, or even thicker in that thicker part. So that was a little bit annoying, but it was only the apricot color for some reason. All the other ones were really good. So yeah, that one, it annoys me a bit, but I won't frog and go back and redo it. It doesn't annoy me that much. And I haven't washed this or blocked it or anything like that. I haven't even steam ironed it or anything. I think it's fine as it is. And yeah, I'll just wait for an opportunity to wear it. Let's do the hair. Okay, that's good enough. And what I'm drinking, it's in a wine glass because it's a big glass, but it's just a mixture of ginger ale and some sparkling water. Nice and refreshing. Another thing that I've got ready is something that was a haul last week, and I apologize, I wore these once already and they're a little bit dirty because we had to see some people off, some friends that came over, and of course I walked outside with these on, so they're a bit dirty. My pom-pom socklets. Pattern is, so it's called Pom-Pom Socklets by Purl Soho. And like I said last time, the socks are a little bit different size. So the back one is the one, this is the first one, and the front one is the second one I made. So yeah, there's a little bit of difference in the width, and maybe a tiny bit, the second one is a tiny bit longer, I think. But you have to remember also that the first one is steam ironed, the other one isn't, because I was too busy or too eager to put them on. But I like them, they're good enough for me, and I will wear them and we'll see how they react when I actually start wearing them more and washing them and everything. But yeah, they're nice little tiny socks. And just to remind you, I didn't say the weight. So the socks weigh 45 grams in total. One was 22 and the other one 23 grams. I've put that I've used 169 meters of yarn, but the thicknesses of these two yarns are a little bit different, so might not be, you know, exactly accurate, but somewhere around there. And the yarns that I used was this Patons Paternile 4-ply. Color information is there, so 5559. And this was this a 75? No, this is an 80% wool and 20% nylon. And then the heels and the toes were made in Novita Venla. Fingering weight wool yarn, I think it's 75-25 wool and nylon. And this one's dyed by neuloo 80, and she kindly sent me this skein of yarn, and I've got plenty left, so there's more socks to come, I'm sure. Yeah, so that was FO number 2, and then the last finished object is living in this filthy project bag that I had with me in the country over the weekend, and because it was in the car it's gone all yucky, so I will have to wash it. But this one is, you've seen this before, I can't remember which episode it was in. Let's have a look. Not that one. Let's have a look. Yes. episode 16 at the start of February. So it was the second Cloudberry baby blanket that I've done, and this was in the neutral colors, and it's now ready. Except that I haven't woven in the ends, but yeah, that won't take long. So here's the marker what I put last time I showed this to you. That's where I was, and the rest of it didn't really take. I worked on this during 2 days, so yeah, it didn't take long. The yarn that I used was a DK weight Bendigo Woolen Mills luxury wool 8 ply, and these colors were leftovers from my Kalevala blanket. So I used those, and I used a 5mm hook because I wanted it to have a nice drape to it. I haven't measured this yet, but let's see. I think it's quite the same size as the previous one, so around about 1 meter across. And I think it looks pretty nice and cute. And what did I do? Yeah, so I made 33 rounds of the pattern, and then the little edging. And the pattern Cloudberry blanket is by Johanna Lindahl, Mijo crochet, and it is a really I wouldn't say really easy, because you have to follow the pattern for a little bit to before you remember which one comes next and where do you start and everything. But yeah, it's a fairly easy pattern that you do learn by heart after you've done a few rounds. But yeah, this one's now ready, and the baby that will be receiving this is not due to be born for another month or so, so I've got plenty of time to weave in the ends and pack it nicely. But yeah, I love this. I still need to take some good photos of it, and I'll put them in my Ravelry project then after that. Oh, and this blanket weighs 329 grams, and I used about 658 meters of yarn for this one. So there. That was a really quick one to make, especially if you use 8 ply or DK weight yarn. Yeah, if you need a quick, pretty present for, for a baby, or even a lap blanket or something, I recommend that. It's a free pattern in Ravelry, and yeah, with the big hook and the thicker yarn, it will work up really quickly. Because the first one I did was made in Shapier swirl, which is about 4 ply fingering weight, and a smaller, I think I used a 3.5mm hook. So of course that will that takes much longer to make it. But yeah, that was surprisingly quick. So I'm happy I got it done. Then my whips, works in progress, and I'm quite excited about this first one as well, because I haven't been working on it for quite a while, and I really want to get it done, and I find it really satisfying to work on it. So last time I showed you my Kalevala blanket, I had sewn in let's see, these 6 pieces. So that's where I was. Now I've got 15 pieces. and I only have 9 more to go, and then I have to make the border. So yeah, I'm quite happy. This is a good project to do, you know, sitting on the couch and watching podcasts or watching TV or something, because yeah, it's starting to get a little bit big. Not so much fun to carry around. And I had a bit of a, I didn't want to continue this after I got the 6 pieces together, because for some reason I felt like there's too much counting, because the all the squares don't have the same number of stitches on the last round. So I felt like I had to count lots, and you know, where do I add and how many stitches do I have to add when I do this border. But it wasn't hard. It is very, very easy. And once you get that first round done, then you just do these loopy things and you join to the other square, and that's easy. And it goes pretty quickly once you start doing it. So yeah, I don't know what I was on about, why I had that thing in my head, because it's not hard. So I'll try and get this done fairly quickly, and yeah, when I sit on the couch, I'll just work on this. So 9 more to go, and then we're done. There we go. And then I have my other active whip, and for that one as well I had a bit of a silly thing in my head, and that's why it's taken me so long to continue on it. It's living in this bag, and it is my diamond dress. So I had made this, I've made half. So one piece is done, and then I need to make another piece, the same but a little bit wider, and that's coming up in here. And the reason I hadn't started, because this is a really enjoyable crochet project as well, because once you get going, you don't need any instructions, you don't need charts, you don't need anything. You just go and you put the chains in where they belong so that you get the diamond pattern. But the reason was that this is started with a chainless foundation double crochet. And I've only done it a few times, but I haven't memorized it yet. I don't know how to do it without looking for instructions first. And that was the hurdle. Going and Googling it so that I can have a look, that I can, oh yeah, that's how it was done. That took 2 minutes, and then I knew how to do it. So once I finished that baby blanket, that Cloudberry blanket, this was my other whip that I had with me on the weekend, and I started it. And let's have a look actually how much I need to do. Where am I at? Where's my starting edge? There. Okay, so I've done that much, and I've got this much to do. So 1, 2, 3, 3.5 diamonds about, looking in there. And I've done 1.5. What? Yeah, so 3.5 to go. yeah. And I will try and remember to put a photo here so that you can see what this dress is going to look like. The idea is that you make, this is going to be my back piece, and then you make the front piece exactly the same but a little bit wider. So when you sew them together from the shoulders, the front goes a little bit like that. Nice drapey neckline. And then it's just a sleeveless straight dress, and then you can put a belt or something in the waist if you like. So this will not be ready for the summer here in Australia because it's gone. Officially, autumn has started at the start of March. So I missed the boat. I missed the summer boat with this dress. But that's okay. Maybe I can get this ready by July when I go to Finland, and I hope it's going to be a nice summer then. Nice summery weather. So maybe I can wear this there. But that's it. And what I'm using for it is this 4-ply 100% cotton, just basic one from Spotlight. The color code you can see there if you're interested. Just the pink one. This is a 4-ply, so it's 145 meters per 50 grams. So that's what, 290 meters per 100 grams. And I'm using a 3mm hook to get a little bit of a more dense fabric, but I will have to get some kind of a slip or something underneath it, because otherwise that will be too see-through. But yeah, this is an awesome project to take with me wherever I go because it's small enough and it's easy, mindless crochet. Yes, guess what? That was my FOs and my active whips. And oh, I forgot something from the bag. And I will quickly tell you where I'm at with my ancient UFOs. So UFO follow-up next. Okay. I have got 16 UFOs left. Last episode I had 17. And I'll tell you how I came to that number. So Kappa was one of the UFOs which is now ready. I started my Kappa on the 26th of June 2017 and I got it ready on the 27th of February. So just about a week, a bit over a week ago. So that's done, and I have put that in the UFOkal that I'm participating. So that's the Finnish podcaster Maikin, who's got the podcast Maikin Kontti, and she's running this UFOkal. And I think I am now, I have a total of 142 points if I've calculated correctly. And hopefully I'm still in the lead. I'm not sure. It hasn't, the chart hasn't been updated in a while, so we'll see. I'm very excitedly looking forward to the update, but we'll see. I've got a few other UFOs up my sleeve, so I can try and finish them to stay in the lead. I had a happy scrappy blankie that I started, a bit like the Cozy Memories blanket, but I was crocheting it and making hexagons. I didn't feel it, so I frogged it. That's now done, and the yarn is waiting for another scrappy project. So that's another one that I've done something with. But then I found another UFO that was missing. And I'll show it to you now. And I hate this. I can tell you straight now, I hate this. I've got no idea why I ever started it, and it's hideous. I do not remember what pattern this is. All I know is, I don't know why, I must have had some kind of an urge to start a knitting project. And then I've had these, I don't know why I've bought them. Because brown is not my color. It's not my color. I don't do brown. So I bought this. It's probably been really cheap or something. This kid mohair wool blend. 74% kid mohair, 3% wool, 23% acrylic. Just basic mortar Vera from Spotlight. Yeah. So I've started this shawl thing. All I remember was that this was an extremely easy pattern where you just knit garter stitch and you just increase at the ends. I'm not sure if you increase at one end each row or if you increase at both ends. I can't remember, and I've got no idea where this pattern was from. And I haven't had a good enough look because I'm not going to continue on this. This is horrible. So this is going to be frogged if I can frog it. If I can't, I'm just going to take the needles out, throw this in the bin. So yeah, look. Oh, no. Oh. I don't want to look at it. So I found another UFO. God knows why that has been started. So yeah, that's the follow-up. I'm down to 16 UFOs now, which is under 20, and that's nice. And I've got the Kalevala blanket, which is going well, and the diamond dress, that's going well, which are my current whips at the moment. So yeah, I'm feeling good. And then statistics. I thought that everybody seems to be doing these statistics about projects and how much yarn they use and all this stuff. So I got a little bit curious and I thought that I'll just have a look. We'll see how it goes. And I've got some statistics for January and February for you now. So in January I only had 2 finished objects that I can remember, or that I've put into Ravelry. But it's funny. I haven't got my head around this statistics thing yet, because in these statistics I only take the projects that I finished in that month. So for example, in January I've been knitting on my Kappa shawl quite a bit. So I've been knitting a lot of meters into that, but that's not in the January statistics because I only finished it in February. But this is what I had ready or finished, and I've calculated the grams and the meters from those finished objects into that month. So in January I had 2 finished objects, which was the rainbow colored Cloudberry baby blanket that I made for a friend who's due in just over a week, so that's exciting. And I finished the blue dragon belly shawl that I've shown you before, and that was 371 grams and 1605 meters. It's pretty good. And then in February I have got 7 finished objects. 4 of them are shawls or wraps. So there's the Kappa shawl, there's my Wonder Woman wrap, there is, what else, let's have a look, already forgot. The black dragon belly shawl that I made, and the Hotel of Bees shawl that I finished. So those shawls and shawls and scarves. I made 2 blankets. So that's the Cloudberry baby blanket that I just showed you. This one. No, sorry, no, it's not, because that was finished in March. Okay, concentrate. No, the blankets were my UFOs. So one was the pink granny stripe baby blanket, where I only wove in the ends. So I haven't included any grams or meters from that blanket because I don't think it's fair, because I only was weaving in the ends and doing nothing else for that blanket. And then I had the baby girl granny blanket that I showed you maybe last time. So that was made out of granny squares, and yeah, I joined the last granny squares into the blanket and did the border. So I have calculated those grams and meters into this. And then there was 1 pair of socks, those green and blue socks that I finished for my husband last month. And all of that is 1,326 grams of yarn and 4,259 meters, but it's got a lot of UFOs in it, big UFOs that have been finished that month. So yeah, it's not quite accurate, but I guess, you know, somehow you have to calculate these, so I'll keep doing it and see how I go. But you know, I think that's it for the English portion of the podcast, and I'll move on to the Finnish section for a little bit. But for everybody who's leaving me now, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. You're very welcome to comment down below, or go to Ravelry to my my group, which is Strawbs Crochet Corner, and there will be a thread for each episode where you can go and comment. I can be also found on Instagram as Strawbs Design, and I do have a Facebook page as well under Strawbs Design, but I don't really use that too much. But yeah, I would love to hear from you, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And yeah, I hope to see you next time again. Bye! Okei, lähdetäänpä nyt Suomi-osioon sitten. Mulla ei tänään ole kauheasti höpöteltävää, koska no mitään ihmeempää ei nyt sitten ole tapahtunut tällä kertaa niin kuin tämän meidän Suomi-reissun osalta, mutta jotain pientä on kuitenkin. Ja mä halusin kuitenkin pitää tämän Suomi-osion täällä mukana ihan sen, en tiedä, musta se on jotenkin kivaa. Kivaa välillä puhua suomeakin. Mutta neulefestareiden suhteen, nythän on sitten tullut ne kurssien liput on tullut myyntiin. Ja mä en ole nyt menossa mihinkään kurssille. Siellä oli muutamia, jotka kiinnosti. Mua vähän kiinnosti se värjäyskurssi. Ja sitten kiinnosti... No Steven Westia olisi ollut hauska mennä vaan seuraamaan ihan sen takia, koska se on aikamoinen persoona. Mutta en nyt kuitenkaan puukannut mitään. Ja Isabel Krameria jo, se olisi kiinnostanut myös. Mutta koska mä en nyt ole niin kauhean... No oon nyt innoskaskin, mutta en ole niin kauheasti neulonut ja kutonut siis. Että mä oon enemmänkin virkkaaja, niin sen takia mä ajattelen, että no, en mä nyt jaksa niille kursseille mennä, että mä en välttämättä saisi niistä vielä niin paljon irti. Ja sit kun ne kuitenkin maksaakin jonkun verran ja mulla on kuitenkin pojat siellä, että en mä voi isääkään pitää sitten poikien vahtina ihan koko aikaa, että pitää niinku vähän puntaroida näitä juttuja, mutta pikkusen harmittaa, ettei Molla Mills ole siellä tänä vuonna, mutta sille ei voi mitään, kyllä siellä kuitenkin tulee ihan mukavaa olemaan varmasti. Mutta sitten mä tosiaan hoksasin Ravelryssä, että siellähän on neulefestareillakin oma ryhmä ja mä liityin sinne. Ja siellä oli pikkusen jo jossain höpöttelyketjussa oli puhetta podcastaajien miitistä, että kuka haluaisi järjestää semmoista. Et mä nyt innolla odotan, että koska päätetään päivää ja aikaa ja koska on, onko siellä useampia vai onko vain yhtenä päivänä podcastaajien miitti vai mitä. Et mä ehdottomasti haluaisin tulla kyllä sinne mukaan ja tulenkin, jos vaan kykenen. Eli meillä on hotelli varattu perjantais-sunnuntaihin. Et aamulla ajellaan sitten Vaasasta perjantaina Jyväskylään. Et varmaan sille perjantai-iltapäivä, sitten on lauantai kokonaan ja sitten sunnuntaina varmaan. En tiedä kuinka aikaisin lähdetään sitten aamusta pois vai saattaa olla, että mennään tekemään poikienkin kanssa jotain kivaa. Mutta semmonen nyt on ajatus tällä hetkellä. Niin, että jos kukaan tietää, että mitä tapahtuu podcastien meetin kanssa, niin kertokaa mulle ihmeessä, että mä jo innolla odotan siihen lisää tietoja. Ja miten se on iltajuhlien kanssa? Onko ihmiset menossa iltajuhliin tai mihinkään semmosiin, että siellä on vissiin joku risteily. Siitäkään ei ollut vielä lisää tietoa, että ootteko te menossa? Vai onko ihmiset menossa vaan ihan johonkin semmoiseen epäviralliseen iltajuhlaan tai olisiko ihmiset kiinnostuneita vaikka menemään syömään johonkin pizzalle tai johonkin muuhun ravintolaan ihan vaan höpöttelemään ja kaikkiahan täytyy kuitenkin syödä, niin olisiko siinä mitään ideaa? Semmosia mä oon nyt funtsinut näistä neulefestareista. Ja sitten mä ajattelin, kun mä en ole nyt pitkään aikaan maininnut mitään neulepodcasteja uusia enkä muutakaan, koska kun mä nyt pidän tätä podcastia englanniksi, niin sit se tuntuu ihan tyhmältä mainita mitään suomenkielisiä podcasteja, eli mä oon sen jättänyt ihan kokonaan pois. Mutta mä ajattelin nyt, kun ei mulla niin kauheasti ole höpöteltävää noista neulefestareista, että ehkä mä sitten mainitsen muutamia uusia neulepodcasteja, joita on tullut. Niitä on tullut taas lähiaikoina aika paljon, mikä on ollut tosi kivaa. Ja mä oon ruvennut seuraamaan aika monia niistä. Mainitaan vaikka ensimmäiseksi tämmönen podcasti, joka mä heti kun mä näin sen nimen, niin mä ajattelin, että ei, mä ihan varmasti tykkään tosta podcastista. Mä tykkäsin siitä huumorista tai siitä nimen ideasta. Eli Onnenlankamoinen. Lauralta on tullut jo 3 jaksoa. Ja mä tykkään kovasti hänen jaksoistaan ja tyylistään ja kaikesta, että sitä odottelen ihan innolla. Sitten on pari, joista on tullut vain 1 jakso, jotka mä oon molemmat kattonut ja vaikuttaa hyvältä. Eli odotan jatkoa ja katsotaan miten ne lähtee sitten rullaamaan. Eli on semmoinen kuin Hannan Neulenurkka ja sitten on Paremman puutteeseen, jota pitää Jenni. Eli innolla odottelen, että sieltä tulee lisää. Ja sitten on yksi semmonen kuin Arkinen. Arkiselta on tullut jo 5 jaksoa. Ja Kipa vaikuttaa kyllä aika tuottelijalta tuottelijalta neulojalta, että sitäkin on ihan kiva katsoa, että mitä on taas saatu aikaiseksi. Ja sitten on tietysti niin kuin niin moni varmasti jo tietää ja tykkää, niin Villapesuohjelma. Ja olen katsonut sitä ihan ensimmäisestä puraisusta alkaen. Ja sitä on mukava katsella. Se on sellainen... no siinä tulee semmoinen kauhean kotoisa ja pikkusen mummolamainen tunnelma mulla tulee siitä, että kun siellä on nyt 2 tytärtä ja äiti, jotka sitä pitää, niin siinä tulee vähän semmoinen mummolamainen sukuloimistunnelma. Ja hauskan verkkaisesti puhuvat. Joskus täytyy sanoa, että mä vähän nopeana sitten ja katon jollain 1,5 vauhdilla sen takia, että menee vähän nopeampaa puhe, mutta ei se mitään. Se on välillä mun tällainen kärsimättömyyspiirre, mutta se on kyllä tosi mukava podcast ja siitä vissiin aika paljon ihmiset tykkää, ainakin sen perusteella, kuinka paljon he on saanut näin lyhyessä ajassa katsojia. Ja mä oon äitiäkin patistellut katsomaan sitä, että mä luulen, että sekin tykkää siitä podcastista. Ja ehkä siihen mummolamaisuuteen vaikuttaa sekin, että siellä on hirveän paljon, ne on ruvennut tekemään tavallaan ohjeita, että kuinka käyttää Ravelryä, ja sitten siellä on, että nyt he aloittaa jonkun yhteisneulonnan, flaxpaidan yhteisneulonnan ja meinaavat sitten opettaa ihmisille, jotka vähän vierastaa tuota englannin kieltä, että kuinka pystyy sitten englanninkielisistä ohjeista tekemään ja muuta, niin etenkin tämä tietotekniikan opettaminen, niin siitä tulee mulla aina mummola mieleen, kun mummo ei ole oikein tietotekniikka eikä muunkaan tekniikan ystävä, niin se aina muistuttaa mua siitä. Ja sitten haluan ihan lopuksi mainita, tämä nyt ei ole enää uusi podcasti, mutta tämä on niin ihana podcasti, josta mä tykkään aivan hirveästi. Ja se on tietysti Urbaani, maalainen. Ja en niin kuin halua kuulostaa mitenkään ennakkoluuloiselta tai sillä lailla, mutta jos joku kertoisi mulle tästä podcastista tavallaan, että se on niin kuin maalla keskellä ei mitään, semmoisessa mökissä, jossa on puulämmitys ja siellä semmoinen nainen selostaa, että mitä se tekee ja filosofoi ja kaikkea muuta, niin saattaisi olla vähän mulla semmoinen, että onko se muka kiva. Mutta mä tykkään aivan kamalasti. Mun mielestä Leena on aivan mahtava tyyppi. Ja kaikki nämä tämmöiset filosofointiasiat ja muut jutut, mistä se puhuu, vaikka ne joulukuusen kaatamiset oikeaan aikaan kuun kierron mukaan ja muuta, niin ne niinku osuu silleen oikeaan paikkaan, ne niinku kiinnostaa mua. Mun mielestä on tosi hyviä oivalluksia, tosi hyviä juttuja. Et kiitos vaan Leena, sä oot todella viihdyttävä ja niinku luot semmoisen mahtavan tunnelman. Et mä vähän kateellisena täältä kaukaa kattelin, että kun sulla oli neularetriittiä ja muuta järjestelty, kun eihän mulla ollut mitään mahiksia sinne päästä. Mutta toivottavasti nähtäisiin Jyväskylässä. Olisi tosi mukavaa vaihtaa muutama sana ja sillä lailla. Mutta siinä oli nyt tämmönen pieni podcast-maininta-osio, kun ei mulla muuta höpöteltävää ole. Niin ajattelin tuoda näitä esille. Ja voisin ihan sanoa kyllä senkin takia, koska mun on pitänyt itse asiassa nonnu-neulajalle viestittää tästä, koska mä löysin semmoisen, se on englanninkielinen podcasti. Ja se on hollantilainen nainen, nuori nainen. Sen nimi on New Leaf Podcast. Muistaakseni, joo. Mä oon kattonut ihan vain 1 tai 2 jaksoa. Ja mä tykkään siitä aivan hirveästi jo nyt. Se on se suunnittelee sheepyesille. Mä luulen, että se on sheepyesin blokkari, eli se blokkaa sheepyesille. Ja se suunnittelee niille myös malleja, virkkuja ja kutomismalleja. Ja mulla tulee aivan hirveästi siitä mieleen nonnuneuloja. Et mun mielestä ne on jotenkin kauhean samantyylisiä ihmisiä. Tsekatkaapa sekin. Varsinkin jos tykkäätte nonnun tyylistä ja nonnusta, niin tsekatkaapa New Leaf podcast myös. Hänkin on aloittanut vissiin aika vasta. Mä en nyt muista, että koska se ensimmäinen englanninkielinen podcast-jakso on tullut, mutta ymmärsin, että hän on tehnyt podcastia ensin niin kuin hollanniksi ja sitten se on vaihtanut kielen englanniksi ihan vaan, että laajempi yleisö sitten ymmärtäisi. Mutta se on kans tosi mukava. Et siinä vähän mun vinkkejä ja mun kommentteja ja suosituksia ja semmoista. Mutta mä taidan tässä nyt ruveta laittaa näitä kamoja kasaan. Alkaa olla aika nyt lounaalle. Fiiliksi on vielä päikkäreillä. Mut jotain pitäisi syödä ja sitten kun mennään Finski hakemaan koulusta, niin sitten meinataan syödä jätskit, koska on niin lämmin päivä. Ehkä mennään jonnekin puistoon varjoon istumaan ja syödään jätskit. Mutta sellaista. Ja tosiaan jatkakaa kommentoimista. Mä oon tykännyt aivan hirveästi jutella teille Ravelryssä. Ja toki muutakin kautta saa sitten ottaa yhteyttä, eli Instagramissa tai Facebookissa, tai mullahan on se sähköpostiosoitekin, jos sitä haluaa käyttää, eli strawbsdesign@hotmail.com, tai siis hotmail.fi. Ja joo, me palataan sitten ensi kerralla. Katsotaan, onko mitään uutta neulefestaririntamalla, mutta toivottavasti mulla ainakin on jotain uutta valmiina. Tai purettuna, kun mä oon nyt oppinut sitäkin tekemään. Mut sellaista. Kiitos kun katsoit. Ihanaa, laita peukkua jos tykkäsit. Jos laitat alapeukkua, niin anna mulle kommentti myös miksi alapeukkua. Ja yes, palataan ensi kerralla. Moikka!